Are you interested in packaging your knowledge into a high ticket product on or offline? If your answer is yes, the Giant Experience is for you. Here's my story. I got started in my business over 20 years ago, and I simply made the decision to go to work as myself. And maybe you have been wondering how you can take all of those years of experience, your knowledge, or your degrees, and put them to use for yourself and to package it into a monetizable structure. That was me 20 years ago. I wanted to figure out how to take my background as a corporate trainer, and I realized that so many women wanted to know exactly how I was able to write best-selling books, and having done partnerships with both Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 companies and get signed to media, Emmy-nominated and nationally syndicated television shows as the mom strategist. And so I decided to equally transfer what I knew how to do to them. And I built out a coaching practice that today has coached thousands of women just like you who are ambitious, smart, and sharp, highly actionable, go-getters. And they wanted to figure out how they could go to work for themselves. Hey there, guys, it's Mia here. I am so excited. As always, today I'm going to be teaching very simply on how to turn your expertise into immediate revenue, even if you've been sitting on it for years. I'm Mia Rodriguez, as you know, business and life consultant, and it's what I have supported hundreds of women personally in being able to take their education, their experience, and their expertise and to package it into a step-by-step system that they can sell. Maybe as a coach or a consultant or a trainer. Maybe that's what you've been thinking on. If you've been sitting on what you know for months or years, this is going to be absolutely for you. And if you don't know where to get started, or you're trying to figure out how to leverage your expertise into a high value product, this is the right live for you. I'm going to be talking to the woman who's been thinking, you've been researching, you've been waiting, but deep down, you know your expertise is very valuable, but you may or may not know where to get started. Or maybe you've already started packaging what you do, but you're confused about the best ways to market, position, price what you do, sell what you do, sell what you know. Today, I'm going to break down exactly how to turn what you already know into high ticket revenue right now, and not just in 6 months. I have clients that have defied those barriers, and why I can't guarantee that as a result of you watching this live today, that immediately an hour from now you're going to monetize. What I can tell you is that what I'm going to teach you today is really going to support you in shifting your expectations around how quickly you can go from creating an idea to being able to bring that idea to market. So here's the first thing I want you to know, and I just want you to write this down. The first thing is, you don't need to create more, okay? You need to package better. So you don't need to create anything new. You don't need another certification. You don't need another class. You don't need another degree. You don't need more experience in order for you to launch today your coaching, consulting, training, or licensing business. The problem is not the lack of knowledge. It's the lack of structure that's getting in the way. And I can tell you this for sure as a result of supporting my clients. Many of them, all of them are smart, incredible women who have a track record, 10 years, 15, 20 years or more of amazing results. But most often when they're thinking about starting and launching their own coaching and consulting business, they don't know the structure that is the most profitable structures to use to be able to package what they do. And unfortunately, because there's so much bad information out there that so many people are focusing on their niche, when you can find the right niche and think that you're marketing to the right audience, but people aren't wanting to work with you because of your niche. They want to work with you because of your mastery, because of what you know how to do. And when you know how to structure what you do around your mastery, everything changes. I'll show you how to organize your experience into something that ideal clients want to pay you for. And that is my mastery, is helping people who have significant experience figure it out. A lot of times you're too close to what's great about you to even be able to see what someone else is willing to pay you high ticket or high value for. When I am speaking of high ticket, I am speaking of $2,500 or more per sale. And most of my clients sell things that are $10,000 or more, just as a general average, right? You likely already have everything you need. It's probably just scattered, right? Like, and I see this a lot. A lot of my clients, they already have the pieces of what they can offer, but they're not even seeing these things as significant, being of significance to anyone else, and having someone to look at you objectively, hear your story, what you bring to the table, and to shine a spotlight on where you are right now and what you can create over the next 30 days, 60 or 90 days is absolutely possible. To go from not knowing what you're going to do to being able to monetize. You just saw the promo for the Giant Experience Master Training, is my signature class that's run almost 5 years. And the truth of the matter is, most people come to that master training, they don't even have a product. They have no idea what they're going to offer. And as a result of spending those 2 days of intensive live coaching and me explaining how to package what you do at the highest level, how to price and value what you bring to the table, how to position your marketing to get in front of buyers. Okay. And that means that you're not waiting long periods of time, 6 months for your first sale, and also how to close and sell, what to say systematically in your business. That's what makes the difference. And if you don't have that level of support or insight, it's likely something you're going to have to invest in. I'd love to be able to support you if you are serious and you're ready about creating that change. If you're ready to pivot, if you know that there's more that you bring to the table than what you're delivering to the world each and every day, if you're meant to create impact, listen up. Okay. Number two, there's a difference between being ready and being willing. You've been ready for a while, but are you willing to move? And I want to speak directly to those of you who say things like, I've been wanting to start a business, or I've been meaning to start my consulting business. And sometimes when you're already successful in your career and you want to make that transition to start your own thing, the reality is that you're not motivated to start because you already have an income, you already have security, but you're not necessarily doing the thing that's allowing you to create the impact that you like to. And you have to change your mindset from being a person that being willing, right, to move forward. People who are ready show up differently. I see it all the time. When someone signs up to work with me and they are ready, they are implementers, they are doers, they're action takers. They are hungry for their next level of elevated success, to realize what that looks like. And my question to you is that you've already seen so many changes at work. In many cases, you may have even seen that you're being devalued in your workplace, and you're just like, I'm tired of this. Like, I know I could start my own thing and really create significant success, but the paycheck comes in, right? And it's good. And so you're thinking all or nothing. Maybe it's not all or nothing. Maybe it's that you create a transition plan. I have a lot of clients who, as a result of us working together, we set a goal to get them to their first 6 figures and then scale beyond that. And they created options for themselves, some of them deciding to leave their careers forever and run their companies, and others saying, I've got this other option for myself, right? That's right. You don't need another degree, another certification, another. You hear me, right? And I'm so excited that you're here, because you said it's all about packaging, branding, connecting, confidence, action, executing. Do different as opposed to doing more. It's so true. And, I've coached thousands of women over the years, and I've seen them create significant success. And I teach my clients less is more. And so often women and women of color believe more is more. You've probably been taught you got to be twice as good, you got to work twice as hard, and it's just not sustainable. And now maybe in your life and in your world, you're like, I'm burned out, I'm tired. I can't imagine starting a business because that's going to be twice as good and work twice as hard. What if you were able to lean in to all that is great about you, your talents, your skill, your awesomeness, the results that you've been creating for these companies over and over again, and do this thing for yourself? And I promise you that don't allow the parts of growing a business that you are less familiar with to get in the way of what you could be creating or the life that you could be building for yourself in this time. Another thing that I will say as it relates to the difference between being ready and being willing is that it's what determines the difference is the actions that you take. If you hear live like this and it pumps you up, it gets you excited, and there's something inside of you that says, you know what, it's time for a change. And maybe that's you. If it's you, right? Me, it's time for a change. Hashtag it's time for a change, no matter when you're hearing this, but you still do nothing. You don't take that action. You don't DM me. You don't, book a call. You don't take that next step in order for you to implement what's going on. That is the reason why you were saying the exact same thing this time last year, right? And your life looks exactly the same. One of the greatest gifts to me, I always say, has been running my company, because my company has always been there for me no matter what has happened in my life and in my world. Hey there, Tarina. I'm so excited. She writes, spot on me here. There's a difference between being ready and being willing. All right now. Like, it's so true. And the difference is the actions that we take. And a lot of times we don't move, Tarina, because of fear, because of doubt, because of insecurity, because a lot of times with women even, we are such givers and overgivers that we will take the things that will make us great and give them to every single person in the world. Think about a woman in your world, maybe it's you, that your kids have never missed a beat. They're in every class. They've got all the high level equipment they need. You're making sure that whatever's going on with them with college, that you meet every single need and you put yourself last. Now imagine putting yourself last when you're the person that thinks of everyone else first. Yeah, I said that. Okay. So I see that my family, they've been the benefactors of my success. So I invest in me first, because as a result of my significant investments in myself, I've been able to be there for them. I've worked from the comfort of my home for 20 plus years before work from anywhere was significant. I've worked with thousands of people. I've been signed to 2 Emmy nominated, nationally syndicated television shows, launching my dream, building my dream. I've had the opportunity to do tons of strategic corporate partnerships with large brands like Panera, Great Harvest Bread Company, Corner Bakery Cafe. And I say that to you not to be braggy or any of that stuff, because it's real. I built the dream. I invested in myself first. And I understood that I am the number one investment. Tarina said, I'm not guilty. I'm guilty of that. I used to put myself last. You have to put yourself first, because if you think about it, you are the person that will give to every single person. And now that my kids are 20, 23, and 27, and they've watched me build the business, they've been the benefactors of the success that I've created as a result of growing a great company. I've been able to invest multiple millions of dollars. This sounds crazy, but it's true. Multiple millions of dollars in their education from the time they were 4 until college. And I say that because if you're investing 25 grand for your kid to go to preschool and you have 3 kids, just add it up, guys, like over the years. I say it because running a great company will allow you to have different options for yourself and for your family. It doesn't prevent you from having problems in your life, but you can solve your problems at a higher level when you build a level of security for yourself. And I hope that this helps someone. Number 3, one second, let me grab my notes, one second. The third thing that I wanted to share with you today that I know is significant is the fastest path to revenue is clarity, direction, and oversight. Somebody write that down. The fastest path. I don't, teaching yourself is for the birds, okay? The reality is the fastest path that you will have to the revenue that you desire is going to be based on your ability to get clarity around what should I do next? What is the highest and best thing that I can do to package what I know into a premium product, right? The direction from people who have already done it. I've coached hundreds of women. I have hundreds of testimonials from women who had no idea what they were going to offer. You need direction like that. And you need oversight so you don't make those rookie mistakes. The problem with coaching yourself and launching yourself is that when we do that, the reality, were you able to see me, Tarina? Because I flipped off the screen. Hopefully you were able to see me the whole time. Um, the, the problem is that when you are coaching yourself, it's what you're missing, okay, when you're coaching yourself. That's the problem. It's what you're not teaching yourself. It's the things you don't know to do. So I see this all the time. People come to me, they've already started launching their big idea and they become discouraged because they're looking at all of these folks who are like, build a website, or you need this kind of funnel, and they don't know how to go direct to the customer. You need clarity around the idea, the best way to package it into a high value product. You need to know how to price what you're doing so that you need to know how to price what you're doing so that you get directly in front of your ideal buyer, the person that wants to work with you. And that means you not being on discount, being as smart as you are, and having the background that you have. You need to know how to position yourself like from scratch. Like, you don't have to have a large audience to sell big time. I'll share a story with you today. One of my clients who I absolutely love, just started working with her a couple months ago. She helps her customers build out customer service experiences. And she's pretty awesome as a consultant and a trainer in terms of her background. We built out her signature process. And as a result of building out her signature process, we came up with the scale of her pricing. She now understands what she should be charging for her new consulting and training program. She learned how to position herself and how to pitch herself in a way that was very effective and clear for the ideal client. And as a result of that, her very first appointment, she was asked to meet with them again today. And now they said, well, what is your budget? See, here's the thing. When you have the right direction, when you have the right clarity, when you have the right oversight, you don't make rookie mistakes. Somebody write, I don't want to make rookie mistakes. And that is the reason why so many people are thinking about getting started in the coaching and consulting space. They are watching what people are doing that don't have the evidence, they don't have the proof, but they do have great branding, I might say, okay? At the end of the day, you can go to market without any of those things. This client that I'm speaking of, she doesn't have really a website that represents her brand because she's brand new in business. And I get a lot of my clients to go to market before they do any of those things. Your clients are buying from you your expertise. There are ways to market what you do without spending a whole lot of busy time creating a bunch of things that don't matter. Are we clear? If we are clear, I want you to write, Mia, we are clear. I'm breaking it down today. I wanted to talk about really quickly how to turn your expertise into immediate revenue. And what I've covered so far is, number one, is you don't need to create more. You need to package better. And if you don't know how to package, I'm a queen packager, okay? I can help you figure out what it is that you want to put in a high value structure, step by step, that your ideal clients are looking for from you, not what somebody else is doing. It's irrelevant. And when you understand that you're trying to attract your customers and you position yourself that way, your ideal clients want to work with you because you are you, not because you're a smaller version of someone else. There could be tons of business coaches out there, and there are, and they all say, I can help you package and I can help you price and all that. The difference is they don't have the results. They don't have the testimonials. They don't have clients saying, look, I went from not knowing what to do to being able to sell what I did for 6 figures in 6 weeks. See, when you know how to help your clients create a result with what it is that you know how to do, competition is irrelevant. People come to you because you have a track record of success. Anybody ready to work with clients who and package themselves around the results they can create so that people want to come to you because they know when they come to you, you are the real deal. And this is more than words. It's the reason why a lot of people aren't successful in business is because you're packaging yourself just like everybody else. And you're not everybody else. You've got tons of amazing experience. And I just want to share that. Number two, I covered there's a difference between being ready and being willing. willing, okay? You've been ready for a long time, but are you willing to jump in? Are you willing to, take an action today? People who are ready, people who are sick and tired, they don't prolong the pain. You know what I mean? They take an action. There's a story that I heard a long time ago about this dog that was sitting on the porch whining, and he was whimpering. And the owner was talking to the neighbor, and the neighbor said, "Why is the dog whimpering?" He said, "He's sitting on a nail." He says, "Why won't he move?" He said, "Because it doesn't hurt bad enough." And some of us are so comfortable that it doesn't hurt bad enough. The paycheck comes in, you know you're not fulfilled, you feel disrespected in your workplace, you see the writing on the wall, you know that your colleagues are making more money than you know that you're not fully expressed in being able to use all of your gifts and your talent, and you haven't made a move yet because you're too comfortable, and I wanted to call you out on that. And the third thing is the fastest path to revenue is clarity, direction, and oversight. What to sell, who to sell it to, how to price it confidently. Most people don't know how to do this, and it gets in the way of attracting the right buyer, by the way. You don't need another low ticket course. You need a high value model that respects your time and your brilliance. And the reason that other stuff hasn't worked for you is because it was never customized or curated for you. Okay. When you try to take something that's very unique, what's scarce makes you valuable, and you put it with things that aren't unique, you devalue it. I'm breaking this down. That's your talent. I give you the roadmap, no fluff, no guesswork. And so I just want to say this in closing. You already have the expertise. The question is, will you stand in your value, or will you keep waiting for permission? Do you need your spouse to say, yeah, you can take that class? Are we serious? You want to run a business, hit six figures, and you got to ask permission to move forward? If you wanted to go to law school, okay, would you have to get permission to do that? Because we need to really think about the choices we make. I'm not talking about not having a conversation about money transparency, different. But when we're talking about your dream and you launching it and you have to get permission to move, come on, all right, girl up, all right. And I work with women who are ready to move now. And if that's you, I have a private consult, my live event, or a bundle that includes everything you need to launch quickly. And if that's something that's of interest to you, you can you can DM me, okay? You can DM me. Let me see if I can grab the link for you. I think it's also in the description, depending on where you are. 1 second. Of a breakthrough session. I always shoot it straight, guys. So if you've been watching me, okay, thank you. If you've been watching me, I just shoot it straight. And the reason that my clients get great results is because, yes, I do focus on the business, but yes, we do focus on the life, because your life informs the business, right? So we can't build a great business without factoring your priorities first. You matter. Your mindset, it matters, right? And getting you to elevate who you are and what you deserve. I hope that there's something that I've said today that absolutely has supported you in making that shift and change. And if I can be a part of that next level for you, I want to invite you to DM me. I'm happy to book a call with you and see how I can support you in some way, or you can book a call on the link that I have provided here in the thread. All right. I hope you have a great and amazing rest of your day. I'm Mia Reddick, for you guys that are just joining me, business and life consultant, and I love what I do. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great and amazing day. Are you interested in packaging your knowledge into a high-ticket product on or offline? If your answer is yes, the Giant Experience is for you. Here's my story. I got started in my business over 20 years ago, and I simply made the decision to go to work as myself. And maybe you have been wondering how you can take all of those years of experience, your knowledge, or your degrees, and put them to use for yourself, and to package it into a monetizable structure. That was me 20 years ago. I wanted to figure out how to take my background as a corporate trainer, and I realized that so many women wanted to know exactly how I was able to write best-selling books, and having done partnerships with both Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 companies, and get signed to media, Emmy-nominated and nationally syndicated television shows as the mom strategist. And so I decided to equally transfer what I knew how to do to them. And I built out a coaching practice that today has coached thousands of women just like you who are ambitious, smart, and sharp, highly actionable, go-getters. And they wanted to figure out how they could go to work for themselves.